You can't meditate. I know. I can't either, which is why I'm teaching it. Because I have been you. I have been the person who is like, oh my God, I cannot meditate. They're driving me insane. Everybody tells me, meditate, 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 and you're going to be calm. And every time I try to become calm, my mind was exploding. My body started to itch, and I could get anywhere and everywhere but into a state of calm and serenity. Well, and then I said, ah, there's so much rage inside of me and so much going on in my life. I have to do something about it. And then I figured something out, something awesome. Well, meditation is not necessarily just sitting down and getting into a place of bliss. No, there's actually a million forms of meditation. Let me take a lucky guess. You are the one, when you get annoyed, stressed, you go for a run, right? Or something like that, take a walk. What you essentially do is you meditate. This is called moving meditation. Number one on my list for everybody who cannot calm down instantaneously or just by the power of their mind. Moving meditation is something that I love. I have been trained to do so by my grandparents because they took us on 1,000,001 walks when we were little, and I loved it. I love it till today. I'm not the best of runners, joggers, whatever you want to call it. Nevertheless, I do it because it gets me into my body and out of my brain. And at some point, when I'm getting over this is stressful, this is annoying, this is a lot, all of a sudden I come into a state of complete bliss, complete calm, and just going on and going on and going on and going on, and nothing around me annoys me anymore. And it is the same as what you are supposed to experience in meditation, where no matter what happens around you, it has no effect on where you are, who you are, what you think, what you feel. It has no effect on you, but you decide what to answer towards all of this and towards all of this. So number one, moving meditation, something we're going to go deeper into, and I'm going to give you a few, let's say, exercises that I use frequently to get into that state of meditation through using my body. Number two, somatic touch. You can use touch at specific points on your body that gets you into a state of calm because it triggers specific areas in your brain that help you to calm down, that help your body to wear off the adrenaline, the cortisol, and actually jumpstart your parasympathetic nervous system. And that is, for example, pressing the sides of your neck, or as you see in ADHD kids or kids that have other kind of problems that are connected to not feeling as other people feel. They do stuff like that. Why do they do it? Because in their hips, there is a load of crossing high surface nerve ends and nerves. And connecting to these, giving the body a certain kind of touch in those areas where that is happening, which is all over your limbs, all over the connections in your limbs, is telling your body, I am okay. That is also, for example, putting a heavy blanket on top of you. So if you want to take a small break and you want to lay down because you're really exhausted, and you put a blanket on top of you instead of just laying down, and the blanket is heavy, it mimics to the body a hug, I'm feeling held. And this is what the body reacts to, which is like, oh, good, I'm safe. And that is number three, using your voice. Your voice is a frequency body, a frequency creator, let's say. The voice that you're sending out into the world is coming with a certain kind of vibration, a frequency. And that vibration, because it's coming from you, is calming your body necessarily down. All the frequencies reaching us are reaching our energetic body. Our energetic body has a specific kind of frequency made out of your heartbeat, made out of what you what you live and die for, let's say, what your heart beats in terms of what you love and what you're afraid of. And that from your cells, even the movement of your cells, the atomic body gives a certain movement. Anything that gives a certain movement also creates a certain kind of frequency. Plus there is the electricity running through you, keeping your system running. All of that creates various levels, layers, and a field of frequency. Your voice is part of that field and part of that frequency. When you use your voice, you activate your frequency, your, let's say, energetic shield, also known as your aura, for example. That was number 3, using your voice. And by the way, here's a little trick. You don't need to sing, you don't need to yell, you can just hum. Humming not only gives a resonates through your entire body and through this energetic field, it also activates your vagus nerve, the connection between your brain and your gut system, which is kind of like helping you to, whatever comes in, to digest and come back with a calm and clear and steady understanding of the situation, so the mind can make a plan what to do about it, what to do about what it's just perceived. So humming, or the classic Om. There's a hum in here. That humming calms everything down, all the muscles around your throat. It activates your thyroid. It calms down the muscles around your skull. Number 4, of course, the breath. I mean, the first thing you do when you get born is breathe. The last thing you do is, well, breathe. So why don't you use your breath consciously? There is a belief in Eastern philosophies that says you were born with a specific amount of breaths. The more conscious and the calmer you can use those breaths, the longer you live. So why not start today? I mean, you have lived quite some time on this planet, I'm sure. Why not extend it a little more, you know? And what about your breath? A lot of you may say like, oh, come on, I know how to breathe. Well, of course, we all know how to breathe. You don't need to learn how to breathe. Well, yet you can learn how to breathe right, purposely, in a way that serves you when you need it to serve you. Your breath always serves you, but you can also use it. There was a belief not too long back that there is no way to alter your heart rate or the breath, calming yourself down in a physiological way. Well, that is false. You can actually bring your heart rate down through using your breath. And there's a lot of very simple breathing techniques. Number 1 is, for example, inhaling 4, holding 4, exhaling 4, holding 4, the so-called box breath. Inhaling 4, holding 4, exhaling 4, holding 4. And you do that for some time, and you will notice that actually you get to calm down. But also, you can just hold your rib cage here. You can press your rib cage together and make it a little harder for you to breathe, so that your breath cannot go into the expansion of the 360 degrees, but it actually needs to float down. It needs to fall into the tips of your lungs, which are underneath your rib cage. So when you compress your rib cage, you have to kind of force your breath underneath the compression, which will elongate it. It will make it more steady, calmer. That's what you want. You want the calm. So you press your rib cage together and you send your breath from here down to your belly. And here comes the trick. A lot of you actually will have problems with the belly breath, because if you have a tight diaphragm, which most people have that are breathing shortly for a very long time, or speak like that for a very long time, or are just very tense in their being and have this like collapsed shoulders, this behavior of like, oh, I'm not here, I don't know, everything is suspicious. they have a tense diaphragm. Me coming from the background of being a trained opera singer and being on stage my entire life, it happens to us too. But we need to know what to do when the voice gets like that, or when we get this tension in the body, or when the breath is like really short because we are afraid, right? We are that too. So we learn to relax the diaphragm. So the diaphragm in between your ribs, that is kind of like allowing the ribcage to open up and to close back down again, allowing your lungs to expand and contract again. That diaphragm wants to be released. It wants to be free to do its job. And how you do that best? Well, not so much with belly breath, because where there is tension, when you add more tension, it just creates more tension. Unless you do it so long that at some point it has to give in, but that's a different story. What I'm trying to tell you is you want to breathe into your back. You want to press your hands into the back side, really below your ribs. And then you can maybe use a chair or something like that and press your back into that chair. And now you want to bring your attention to your breath and send it into your hands so that you're pushing yourself kind of away from the chair behind you or the wall, but for at least your hands. You want to feel how your lungs expand into the backside, into your open hands. And you will notice how when you let go of bringing tension towards the front, all of a sudden the front opens up. Amazing. Number 5, tapping. When I was a little child and I had a phase in my life where there was a lot going down, I was very lost, I was very lonely, I felt insecure all the time, I felt like life was a threat. One thing I did all the time, I did that. Why? Because again, first of all, I gave myself rhythm. When you're out of rhythm, you want to get rhythm back. You want to get your own rhythm so you get to walk through this life in a certain kind of dynamic, which is your dynamic and not the dynamic that is happening or forced upon you. Second, your thyroid is being activated. So you're not only bringing your thyroid to be activated, you're also giving yourself some, you can go slower, rhythm that you like right now. But also, if you do that sometime, you spark a yawn. And the yawn is the easiest and most amazing to self-regulate your body. You want to yawn. And if you yawn, please make it a big one and don't go for those. Make it a hum. You see, I'm just talking about it. I'm yawning. And yawning because I'm trained to do it. And when your mind is exploding and you can't calm down and you can't get yourself to meditate, go for a yawn. And you do that either by tapping your chest, or for example, you can extend and kind of make it a bigger sensation even by putting your wrists in front of one another, really touching. So also, again, you have this compression points here, touching, laying your hand on your chest, and then you just start giving yourself this good old pound. And you see, we can train. It comes out and it releases all the tension, opens up your mind. So this was 5 easy ways to meditate, and all of them are sort of meditations. By the way, I have been trained in therapeutic meditation, and in therapeutic meditation, you learn something that to me was absolutely eye-opening. And it is not every person, situation, or setup is actually the right one to go for a calming meditation. When you, for example, are in a state of depression, depends on what kind of depression you have, you may not want to go for a calming meditation series, but actually a focusing and invigorating one. Because you need to train your body to find new, focus, new strength. Have this dopamine hit take you to a new destination where you can feel hope is on the horizon. If you want to know more about it, hit me, write to me, write in the comments, hit the like button, hit the follow button so I can create more for you. Let me support you in the quest of finding the kind of meditation that will bring you into training your mind, your body, your soul to come into a state of meditation very easily. You can meditate. You just need to find how. There is a door that you can just walk through when all the other doors are closed. Finding that door is your task right now. And again, I'm happy to help you with it. Thank you so much for listening to me. My name is Esther. My background is on stage as a trained actress, as a dancer, as a singer, but I'm also trained in yoga and therapeutic meditation, hypnosis, you name it. This is who I am, and this is what I'm bringing forth to you. So maybe you don't make the same mistakes that I do, or go through them faster. Looking forward to the next video to see you again. Lots of love.